Hello there, everybody. Welcome to something that's very new to me, and something that is probably not very well. It's definitely not new to the Planet Coaster YouTube scene, but either way, here it is, my take on a Planet Coaster series. Welcome to Richmond Park. Now, the idea I've had for this park, as I build the car park here, I'll run you through it. Most Planet Coaster series, like most people's series in Planet Coaster, they focus on building their dream park. Something that's big and grand and it's full of big, great rides. I've got a world-class lineup. I didn't want to build that. You see, I much prefer to play this game in the sense of building a realistic park. Like a park that wasn't built yesterday, a park that's had history, it's had years behind it. And as you can see right now, I'll get into what I'm doing here. A part of that is that I wanted to recreate the feeling that a park has had like 30, 40 years of history, and those people 40 years ago, they didn't know what was going to be built 40 years in the future, of course. So these paths have just been randomly placed. I find that kind of gets that effect of, what's it called? Unplannedness, that's not a word. It creates that effect, is what I'm trying to say, of they put these paths down without really knowing where they're going to go, or they've added on to these paths later without really much consideration of how that flows. So, yeah, the paths are being completely random placed. I don't know what's going to go on them apart from what I build in this episode and what I'm going to build in the next one, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, the whole thing with this park is that it's not perfect. It's far from perfect. It's not even remotely perfect. It's got its flaws, it has its problems, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it charming, So like I said, I'm trying to go for like a weird local park that you maybe visit once every year or 2 years. And for me, that park is Drayton Manor. I've been there twice, and yeah, it's always an experience going there. And the park, I noticed recently that the park feels very weird in the way it's designed. You've got like, I will admit, it's gotten better in the past couple of years with the addition of Frontier Falls and Vikings. But before, you just had a bunch of weird clashing themes. Accelerator still does not fit in where it is, and I kind of love that. That's what makes a park feel real to me, as opposed to other creators, I'm not going to name anyone, but other creators' parks, where they're all just designed to be the perfect park. This is the top 10 best roller coasters all exist in this park. None of that is happening here. Don't expect that going into this series. What you should see here is my attempt to just create a park that's had history, it's made many, many mistakes, and you can tell. Anyway, back to what we're doing here. I'm currently building the entrance building, and I've built it to be intentionally as underwhelming as possible. I want you to look at it and just think, oh, is that it? Great. Instead of this big grand structure, no. Let's get one thing straight. This park is not going to be good. We're going to get to the end of this, and you'll think, okay, I would probably visit here once and call it there. And that's the goal. That's what I want to go for here. I don't know if I've said the name, and I don't remember 5 minutes ago when I started this recording. But as you can see, the park is going to be called Richmond Park, a name I pulled completely out of thin air, just for the fun of it. And look at that, perfectly bland entrance sign. I apologise to everybody who is very good at building car parks. If you couldn't tell, I never do it. So mine looks awful, but we'll have to run with it, because the park is not going to look good. I can't stress that enough. This is not going to be a good park. It's not built to be a good park. Anyway, I'll get into my inspiration for this park while I build the rest of this entrance building. As I mentioned before, it's very much so going to be Drayton Manor inspired, and you're going to see that with the coaster I build later. I mean, spoilers, I'm going to build a coaster in this episode, but you're going to see that later with the coaster I put in. This park is very much so going to be inspired by Drayton Manor in the rides and the themes I put in. Well, maybe not necessarily the themes. What is that? Apologies if I sound very confused there. Sorry, my phone alarm started going off. I forgot I set the alarm. Anyway, back to it, sorry. So yeah, the way this park's going to be themed and built, and the rides within, as I said, it's going to be very Drayton Manor inspired. I'm aiming for that, like, kind of just mismatched park, where I think I'm gonna run with, they've tried to be a family park, they've tried to be a thrill park, they've kind of landed awkwardly in between, like Drayton Manor has. Except, well, slightly more thrill. They haven't quite gone all shockwave to the wave yet. But, who knows, they're getting there. Speaking of, while we're still building how am I still building the entrance building? Oh my god, this is the longest thing I've ever built in my life. I'll talk about the wave while I'm here. I take back everything I said about the wave. It is actually better than the shockwave. Unbelievably, I didn't think it was possible. But somehow, I mean, I don't remember Shockwave very well. Like I say, I only got one ride on it, but I cannot explain how the Wave is better. It just is. Like, the lap bar does wonders for that ride. I mean, the rumors of around that 0G roll are not to be disregarded. That thing is devious. Upside down air. Oh my god, wait, hang on, I've started building something else. No way. Right, cancel that talk. We're on to something else. I can't believe it. We're on to the food building. That's right. I'm going to build a small little like food court in the middle, right outside the entrance in this plaza that's probably slightly too small, but yeah, I didn't know I was building this before when I built the plaza. That's not my fault. Oh, that's another thing I should mention. The path does have random plazas put around it. I am going to move one of them later, but I'm going to attempt to try and work these plazas in a semi-natural way. I'm going to try and work everything in a semi-natural way. These paths are going to be a big challenge for me, in short, is what I'm trying to say. These paths are going to be a nightmare to work around. They already were a nightmare to work around, as you'll see at a later point when I start building the coaster. So many things had to move. I had to shuffle a big plaza around because the coaster just could not fit in the space I'd made for it. I'm going to apologise now for the potentially boring and just very stringy on-y, that's not a word, the way it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about in this voiceover. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I'm currently doing a very bad strategy of just throw myself at it, look at what's going on the screen, and record. If I don't have anything to say about what's going on the screen, I will just ramble on about something else. As you can tell by the fact I started talking about the Wave. Speaking of, where have I been for the past year? Well, you saw me briefly. You saw me 3 times last year. That's right, I put out a whopping 3 videos. But to any of you who didn't see my community post, this is going to be the first of, hopefully, weekly uploads. I know, right? I too am quaking in my boots with that thought. I'm going to attempt to commit to an upload schedule. I'm not going to promise anything because it's me, and I'm probably going to lose interest in the first 5 minutes. But I'm thinking weekly videos, hopefully. I think at least for now, until the parks come back, they're going to be mainly this series, because I am not the ideas factory I should be to do YouTube, but I'm going to work with it anyway. And either way, the way I'm thinking is... sorry, I'm building the planet. Hold on! Pause the conversation again. I'm building a toilet block. This is very exciting. Except it's not, so I'm going to keep talking about what I was on about. Yeah, like I was saying. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, I forgot where I was going with it. No! The toilet block distracted me. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to commit to an upload schedule because, frankly, 3 videos last year is awful, and I do deeply apologise because that's not the kind of, like, rate I should be putting out videos if I'm going to do YouTube like this. Yeah, so I'm going to aim to improve this year by doing weekly videos. Anyway, I think it's about time. Just you wait. Here I go. Oh, no, wait, no, it's not time. It's not time just yet. And, oh, yeah, you can see me, sort of thinking here. Oh, wait, it is time. It is coaster time. Yes! Oh, no, it's not. No, it's flat ride time. Never mind. Everyone, hold your horses for 5 minutes. It's not coaster time just yet. But if you couldn't tell, I am going to put the coaster in there. Either way, here I go. Look at me already go. Editing the paths. I'm breaking my own rules. Unbelievable. But, yeah, this is where a carousel has just sort of been slapped in at some point in the past 40 years. Okay, hang on. I'm going to cement it now. This park is about 40 years old. I'm going to cement that now before I change all the dates later on, probably. But the idea I'm going for, the storyline I want to go for this park, is that it is long past its glory days. But it keeps trying to ride that high. So, you're going to see in the coaster I build next time, that coaster is going to be, like, their highlight. That's their great moment. That's where they peaked. And it's all just been downhill from there. It's all been mishmash all over the place. And you're hopefully going to see that replicated later on. When I get around to building that coaster. And then because I'll let you on a little secret regarding the series. I've planned the first 3 episodes. I think I know what I'm going to do for the first 3. And the third one is where the story's really going to start coming in. So, like, 3 is where I'm going to try and solidify the lore of the park, if that makes sense. So, like this idea of they're way past their glory days, they've had their time, and yet they're still trundling on. I would say a bit like Drake Manor, but they're kind of on a resurgence right now. They're having a lovely time. Either way, which is why we end up with stuff like this carousel just sort of thrown down right next to the food court with no planning or consideration as to what's going to go there at any point in the future. Anyway, I don't want to excite you too much, but you know what this means. We've just finished the carousel, and that means it's coaster time! Woo! And already, can you... Whoa, did you see that? Sorry, I've not seen this footage in about... I recorded this, I think, about 2 days ago. Sorry, I haven't seen it since then. I forgot I spun the station around. I'm making a really big deal out of me spinning around the station. But either way, yes, that's right. The first coaster is going to be a Vekoma family boomerang. Because, of course, as I said, the Drake Manor inspiration is coming in already. And I love... One of the things I saw whilst at Drake Manor that kind of inspired this park is how Accelerator... Like, it's really going to be really weird and specific. How the lift hill and spike of Accelerator just sort of spill out over onto the path. And there's just supports everywhere and no one really knows what to do with them. Like, this kind of like mishmash, this ride was just sort of thrown in here at one point and we don't know what to do with it now. That's what I want to go for this park. So, hence this. And I will say now, the order I build the rides in the park is not the order they were built in the story of the park, if that makes sense. So this obviously wasn't their first coaster. You'll see their first coaster probably more... I haven't even planned what their first coaster is yet. So it's going to be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. But I feel I'm sort of building outwards at the moment. Or, well, I say that. I'm building outwards in this episode, and then I don't know where I'm going to put whatever's coming in the next episode. And as you can see here, I'm building the layout for the coaster. Isn't this such a nice layout? Don't get familiar with this layout. I'm going to destroy it. I removed this layout after I finish it because it's awful. It is not my finest creation, although I think the layout we eventually ended up with was a good creation. I'm quite proud of the one we've come out with. It's just rubbish enough to be believable. And that's exactly what I'm going for here. Like I say, everyone else builds perfect parks, perfect coasters, but real coasters have like, especially older coasters, real coasters have like weird dead spots or they don't quite hit. They're just like, they don't quite work properly. That's exactly what I'm aiming for with this park. So you're going to see, there we go, so the entire layout's gone. But yeah, you're going to see me build a maybe slightly underwhelming layout for this. And it's going to take me absolutely forever to build it because I remember this, but I remember building this and it took me so long to get the layout right. I think I'll let you on another industry secret of this video. I think this clip of me building the coaster, this is about an hour and a half long before the time lapse kicked in. I built into like 3 AM of just trying to get this layout correct, and I just could not do it until I eventually did do it. Okay, I think this is the final version of the layout. I think I get it right around here somewhere. Also, don't get attached to this colour scheme. It's going. Actually, wait, hang on. No, it's not. I mean, the support colour scheme is going to change, but the track colour scheme is going to... I think it's going to... I mean, I hate to keep spoiling what I do. I think it's going to go bright yellow for like a minute, and then it's going to go back to blue again, because bright yellow looks awful on this coaster. Oh, here we go. Look at me go, I'm smoothing it. I actually got the layout I liked. Finally. Took me long enough. And... oh, I got excited then. I thought I was going to start putting this queue. Whoa there! I've not shown the POV just yet. Hang on now. Anyway, this is an unthemed POV. Don't get too excited. Anywho, here I go breaking my rules again and changing the paths. Unacceptable. Anyway, we've reached the point again where I have nothing else to say about this coaster, so I'm just going to rattle on giving away more insider secrets about the series. I'm for definite going to make 3 episodes. And then at the 3rd episode, that is where I'm going to kind of step back for a second. Take a look at... not that I think the numbers matter at all, but just see how the series is doing. Like, if there's like 2 people watching it, then... no offense to those 2 people, but I mean, at that point, I might just not... I think at that point, the effort required... well, so I'm making it sound like actual effort goes into this series. Oh, look, it's snowing now. So yeah, this is when I came back the day... yeah, this is now 1 day ago this was filmed. Sorry, back to the point. Yeah, I'm going to reevaluate at episode 3. Oh, the tracks, yeah, I keep distracting myself. Why do I keep doing so much interesting stuff right now? Either I'm going to... right, I'm going to commit to this point now. I'm going to reevaluate at episode 3. See if the series is doing well. If it is, great, I'll continue it. If not, you never saw anything. This series did not exist. Don't believe what they tell you. Anyway, now it's time for something that that we're actually doing interesting stuff now. I recently discovered in a previous park how good custom queue fencing is. So like this whole time throughout Planet Coaster 1 and 2, I've been using just the pre-built fence. Oh my, I cannot speak. I'm not cutting this out. It's 8 of the 23 minutes I've got to talk for. I've been using just pre-built fences for my entire time in Planet Coaster 1 and 2. And I only in I think it was probably my last big park, which I know you saw. I tried out custom fencing for once, just because I thought it'd be fun. And oh my god, the difference it made. I am going to slightly go against what I said, because I am going to put some pre-built fences on this section specifically, on the inside, but only because I feel like these big fences block the view of the main theming piece on the inside. But that's the only ones in this whole queue, okay? But yeah, if you play Planet Coaster and you haven't used, like, you haven't built custom queue line fencing, just try it. It is a game changer when it comes to theming potential. Anyway, here I go. Look at me. Speaking of theming, I'm actually building a theming piece. Now, as for the theme of this ride, it is going to be just vaguely electric themed. I don't have a name for it just yet, so I will be taking submissions if you want to submit a name, and I will be heavily considering them before probably picking them, because I can't think of names to save my life. But yeah, the ride will be vaguely just electric themed. It's going to be themed to the electric current running around and between these two... Oh, I've spoiled it again. There is going to be a second one of those towers put somewhere. But yeah, it's going to be themed to the current just running through those towers, charging them up, bouncing off of them, you know, all that fun stuff. And the towers are going to have loads of sparkly effects on them, which... Oh, actually, no. Wait, they do get the effects in this episode. I just remembered. So yeah, there goes the other one. Hooray. Except it's slightly higher up than the other one. But yeah, these towers are going to have all sorts of funny, like, spark effects going on them. And yeah, the ride's going to be just... I've said this 15 times now. The ride's going to be vaguely electricity themed. Oh, and look at this. Get ready for this. I'm going to steal something else from Drayton Manor. Here's my very original idea for the end of the spike. I did not steal this from Ben 10, I promise. But, okay, I'll be taking name suggestions because I genuinely have no idea, and I am awful at naming things. I cannot name coasters. I've used the same, like, 4 coaster names throughout my entire, what is it, like, 3 or 4 years in Planet Coaster 1 and 2. I've just used, like, the same 5 names over and over again. Like, it's a weird thing I do. I can't quite explain why I do it. I'll reuse the name and theme of coasters. So I've had, like, 7 hacksaw mills, which are themed to horror-based sawmills. I've done 4 voids, which is a futuristic lab where they do tests sending you into the void, and a bunch of others I've probably forgotten about. But I mean, so don't be surprised if you see any one of those themes show up again. It is almost inevitable that a hacksaw mill is going to rock up in this park. It rocks up in all of my parks at this point. But yeah, my point is, I'm very uncreative when it comes to naming rides. I can't do it to save my life. So any help would be appreciated. If not, I'll come up with something. It won't be grand, but I'll come up with something. Anyway, here I am. Look, I'm putting in these special effects. How fun. I can't wait to... Actually, oh no, I do not tear out the special effects. I changed the triggers. That's what I did. Sorry, for a sec, I was really convinced that I just tore out all of these effects and did them again. But no, I did not. We're getting somewhere. But already, you can see how mishmashed the themes are going to be. We have this big electric-themed ride next to the lovely carousel over there and the nice entrance plaza. Yeah, that's my idea. I'm going to have the themes it's going to be Drayton Manor, pre-Vikings, pre-Frontier Falls, where just the themes do not match in the slightest. But it has its own charm to it through that. I think actually those stone guests, I think they're still there. I forgot to remove them. I don't know why I put that one there. I didn't use that one at all. But yeah, like I say, the themes aren't going to match up. It's going to be all over the place, and it's going to be... I say I'm going for realism. I'm going for some aspects of realism. I'm going for, like, the history of the park, as opposed to the running realism of the park, if that makes sense. So there's not going to be, like, back-of-house areas or anything. Even building the car park was a push for me. I usually don't bother with that. But, yeah, there's going to be no back-of-house area. Oh, snowing again. Woo! And actually, I remembered, sorry, this is a very off-topic. At this very moment, it started snowing in real life as well, and it was very cool. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I forgot. No, I've lost it again. I don't know what I was going to say. Hang on. That was it. It was the realism talk, right? So yeah, like I say, there's going to be no, like, back-of-house areas, and even this, like, putting, like, big, actual, almost area fencing on my queues is something I don't usually do. I'm sort of just playing it... Oh, well, I'm not playing it up for this series, but I'm going to go into more detail for this series than I usually would. As for, like, proper area fencing, I'm probably not going to bother, because, 1, I can't be bothered, and 2, I feel like it kind of wrecks the views you get of the coaster, and I don't like that. Anyway, I know where we are now. We're nearing the end of the time lapse, so you actually get to see me talk about this live as I walk through the park. But yeah, I'll apologise again before we get to the final clip. Sorry for the rush nature of this time lapse. Okay, goodbye. And here we are outside Richmond Park, which you just watched me build very fast. Here we are, outside the lovely car park, where there's nobody here, apart from the Budge awkwardly wedged in the corner. I will find a parking space for it eventually, don't worry. Anyway, I'm going to let you on an industry secret yet again regarding this series. This is currently being recorded on, I think, the day this video comes out, because I was editing it and I realised that this bit was terrible. I did it awfully the first time. But either way, we're here now. There's a lovely welcome sign. Wow, I feel very welcomed thanks to that. And here we are at the lovely, but not too lovely, because that is the whole point of this series, Entrance Plaza. As you can see, it is very blue. Oh my, look at that screen. Get a screenshot of that. That is like 80% blue. Oh, I've never seen... I'm going to need to fix that. So half of these... these benches are going to be like green next time you see them. But either way, here's the lovely food stalls, which aren't open because there's no one here. Perfect timing. There's the coaster. Oh, sorry, I got distracted looking at it. Now, I'm going to apologise for the last 20 minutes of this video. That might be the worst 20 minutes of voiceover you're ever going to hear in your life. I can only apologise. I just sort of threw myself at the time-lapse and talked over it. If you couldn't tell, I think it was quite obvious. Either way, we have this lovely, very blue again... Oh, look, I like that. Matched the rotation speed. Wow. We have this lovely blue carousel, which fits in nicely with the rest of the blue in this park. And, of course, the main event, the coaster itself, which currently does not have a name. And why am I going? I'm going the long way round. I need to commit to that side of the path. I keep going the long way round. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to run around quickly, get in the queue before the coaster goes again, so we can have a lovely interaction during the queue. So, of course, when the coaster's built, the entrance archway will be here, with whatever the name is. There goes the coaster. Wow. Look at it go. Anyway, let's head into the queue now. We have these lovely electric towers, and the ride's going to fly past me here, I think. Here it comes. Whee! God, that's quite snappy, actually. This layout might actually not be as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a completely forceless layout. This might actually have some whip to it. Anyway, we have these, hello. What are you doing here? I thought I removed that. Hello again, coaster. Look at that lovely interaction there. The tower goes all sparky, which actually I might need to put in some kind of protective measure here, or else the guests are going to get shocked. In saying that, it's Planet Coaster 2. The queue doesn't go above 5 minutes, so they'll probably only queue to like the bottom of the stairs over there. Are you again? Hang on a minute. Through the cattle pen, because you're still here. Are you following me? Why are you now over here? I am very scared of these people. I'm spooked right now. Anyway, let's whiz past this bit. The ride doesn't have a soundtrack yet. I haven't put the soundtrack in yet. As for soundtracks, I'm not even going to bother trying to make my own. I'm probably just going to use the inbuilt ones. And, yeah, but, I mean, if I want to make a custom logo, I'll do it myself. Don't worry. I'll make a logo. But, although, I think 9 times out of 10, it is just going to be ride name on a editable text sign, because I do not like building ride names. Either way, you know what? Why not? Should we give it a POV? I'm hearing a resounding yes from the audience. And here we go. As you can see, it's very unthemed still. I haven't put the station in at all. But here we go on this very underwhelming POV of this coaster. And we can determine whether or not it would actually be a good ride. Because I think the layout's actually going to be slightly better than I thought it was going to be. So here you whip around to the side. Oh, you know, a good bit of whippage around all of these turns. Oh, look at that. You might even get airtime over that. Wow. Oh, that is very off-center. Look, I need to fix that. Look, wait, is it off-center? Yeah, I think it is. I can't tell. I've rotated that very weirdly. I can't tell if it's off-center or not. But either way, we come backwards now, through past the towers, over the queue. There's the stone lady again. Get our photo taken a second time, past the second of the big electric towers, and back through the station as we finish the ride. Wow, isn't that spectacular? And, oh, I forgot it does that. Spatters out on the exit path. How nice. Anyway, we're not going to POV the carousel. I'm very sorry about that, but we do not have the hours in the day to be doing all that. But yeah, that wraps up episode 1 of this. Be sure to come back for the next one, or don't if you don't want to. But I promise you, the next one's going to be more interesting. This one was all just paths and plazas and toilet blocks. The next one's actually going to be interesting because I'm going to be finishing this coaster and starting something else. And it should be really interesting, but no promises. And there will be another 20-minute rambling session over the what's it called, the time lapse. Anyway, that is all for now. Goodbye.